Today, we're going to continue our review of Algebra 1. We're going to be talking about multiplying polynomials. And what you always do is the distributive property. And when we do the distributive property, we're going to add the exponents, okay? So let's do example 1. So we have -2 times 3. We multiply the coefficients. This will be -6. And we are going to add the exponents. So this will become x to the power of 4. When you are multiplying, you add the exponents. The reason why we do this is because x squared times x squared means there's 2 x's times 2 more x's. That is 4 x's being multiplied total. So you just add the exponents, okay? That's the reason. Next, -2 times -4 is a +8. How many x's are being multiplied total? 3. There's 2 over here and another one here. That's 3 x's being multiplied together. Next, we're going to do -2 times 5. That's a -10. And the x squared tags along. Okay, now that I did one example with you, go ahead and try number 1 and number 2. X times this, 7, and then there's an x here and 2 more over here, so that's x cubed. And then x times this 4 is just 4x. The next one, what did you guys get? Good, that's the correct answer. -2 times -5 is a +10. The x squared tags along. -2 times a -7 is a +14. And those are 3 x's being multiplied, so x cubed. Now, guys, this is not the right order. I need you all to rewrite this in the proper order. The 14 comes first. Do you guys know why? Yes, because it has the higher exponent. 3 is bigger than 2, so 3 will come first. So write it in the correct order. Do not leave it like this. All right, let's move on. Now we're going to do 2 polynomials. Before we were doing a monomial and a polynomial. Monomial meaning 1, poly meaning many. Okay? Now we're going to do 2 polynomials. Okay, so we're still going to distribute. So I'm going to do example 1 with you. I'm just going to cross this out for now so that you only focus on the 2x. So 2x times the x squared, what would that become? Good, 2x cubed. Then 2x times -2x would become what? Good. 2x times 1, 2x. Okay, so I did the first item. Now we're going to do the second item. So let's focus on the second thing now. We're going to focus on the -3 now. We already did the 2x. Now let's do the -3. -3 times x squared is -3x squared. -3 times -2 is a +6. And then you need that x. -3 times 1 is -3. Now we're just doing what we did yesterday. We're just going to combine like terms. So this has a squared, and this term has a squared. This term has an x, and this term has an x. So those are the like terms. We're going to combine them. Okay, so 2x cubed is by itself. We're going to combine the squared terms. That will become -7. Then we're going to combine 2 and 6 to give us 8x. So that's your final answer. I'm going to pause here and let you guys do example 3 and 4. Okay, let's see how you did. You should have done 7x squared times x squared. What is that? What do we do to the exponents? Add them, so it should be to the 4th power. We're not focusing on the -2 yet. Let's focus on the 7x squared first. Then we're going to multiply this by -5. So 7 times -5 is -35. This becomes x cubed. 7x squared times -1 is -7x squared. Okay, so that's the first term. Now let's do the second term in the polynomial. Now let's do the -2. -2 times x squared is -2x squared. -2 times -5 is a +10 with an x. -2 times -1 is a +2. Now we're going to combine like terms. The only like terms we have here is the x squared. So I'll highlight that. This has a squared and this has a squared. So that is what we're going to combine. Everything else will stay separated. So I have 7x to the power of 4 minus 35x cubed. Combine these to make -9 and just bring down the rest. Did everyone get that for their answer? If not, correct it. All right, let's do number 4. Let's work on the first term. X squared times -5x. You should have gotten -5x cubed. X squared times 1 is just x squared. Now let's do the next number. Now we're going to focus on the middle one. This one right here. -3x times -5x is +15. Those are 2 x's, so that's x squared. -3x times 1 is just -3x. Now let's focus on the last term. -1 times -5x is +5x. And -1 times a +1 is -1. Okay, so we multiplied it all out. Now let's combine like terms. Let me highlight the like terms. Guys, this is what we did yesterday. So if you weren't here yesterday, please pay attention. This has a squared and this has a squared. So we will combine those together. And this has an x and this one has an x. So we're going to combine those together. So what we have is -5x cubed. Combine these to make what? Yes, 16. You can imagine a 1 right here. 1 plus 15 is 16. And then combine these two. What will that be? Yep, plus 2x and then the -1. So that is your answer. Okay, that is the end of the notes. One more thing that I want to point out. On the bottom of your practice, you might have something like this. X plus 5 with a squared on it. What does a little 2 mean? What does squared mean? There's 2 of them. So that means you can rewrite this as x plus 5 times x plus 5. And you guys just multiply it out. Do the first one, and then do the second one. Okay?